episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves of Naarm where this conversation took place. Land which was never ceded, land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to the elders past and present and to any First Nations people listening today. Now, owning one restaurant, let alone two, with a vision for even more, was not part of the plan when Kabir Singh came to Australia for a month-long stay from New Delhi in 2020. Now Singh, as his regulars call him, is a Fitzroy local, with a huge heart for the neighbourhood, for hospitality and for his beloved Mukka, the restaurant he bought as Melbourne went into lockdown. I've always loved Mukka. I sat down with the original owners Pratik and Aditya Dawan and their mother Rekha when they first opened the restaurant back in 2016, and they had a loyal following, especially for their butter chicken. Singh saw the potential in the restaurant after one visit, and as well as respecting the original passion and butter chicken, he's taken it to whole new heights. Singh opened Mukka 2.0 in St Kilda, and last year he took the OG Mukka across Brunswick Street to a much larger venue that had previously been home to Vamos' Spanish tapas bar. It's now filled with gorgeous colours, the most inventive and beautiful use of fairy lights I've ever seen, and the soft aroma of the spices Singh grinds daily. As well as putting up delicious dishes, Singh is about the whole experience, and he loves community involvement and fun. To this end, popular Indian pastime bingo, also known as Howsy and Tambola, is getting its own night on Wednesdays from next week. There's also $25 curry night on Tuesdays, as well as Thursday locals night, where, if you're a local, you get 20% off your bill. Singh and I talked spices and produce and Australia's enduring love for butter chicken, particularly on a Sunday, who knew, but for a really in-depth exploration of many of the dishes on the menu, jump on Mukka's Instagram at Mukka Restaurant, that's Mukka Restaurant. There you can see the Tangy Talks video series Singh does with the lovely Pallavi from Pallavi Social. You cannot watch these videos without wanting to rush out to Mukka and eat all the food. But both locations are open 7 days, so there's no excuse. Off you go. Joe.
Joe, Singh.
Nice to meet you.
All right on time. Oh, beautiful. Love it. Please pick a table wherever.
Oh. This chair, I suppose, would be nice. Thank you. Yeah, I spoke to the brothers and their mum, like not long after they opened Mukka.
When was that?
A long time ago. I don't know when it was.
You've been doing this for a long time now.
I have. 2016 I started
2016.
Conversation with a Chef, yeah. And at first I wasn't podcasting, I was just writing, writing up the conversation, and then, yeah.
At the same time when they started Mukka.
Yeah, so I feel like it must have been, that's when I first, when I spoke to Mukka. It's so nice.
2015 and 16 beginning, I think that was the kind of time, because I know it's going to be close to 10 years now, almost a decade.
Yeah,
so
how did you get into it?
I know you love chai. Before we start that, would you want to have a cup of tea?
Part of me tells everyone that I do love chai. But
no, I did a bit of homework and I was like, let me search about this lady. What is she?
Chai.
So I know you've been to India, you've been to Rajasthan, and my mum's from Rajasthan.
Oh,
so,
wow. Whereabouts?
It's a very small town called Swai Madhopur. So it's close to the Century, if you would have heard of Ranthambore. Jaipur?
Yes.
Yeah, you know Jaipur, right? So it's close to that, let's say.
Yeah.
But then, better drive, let's say countryside. But then, and my dad's from Calcutta.
Which
is east part of India. So we are Sikh. He puts on a turban now. I've lost my hair a long time back, but then, it's a bit of mix. I'll tell you the story, but then I'll get chai for you. Okay.
And I hear you were a big fan, and then you took it over.
Well, there's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be brutally honest. But then, how things are now, I'd say God's been really kind, honestly, lately. I only flew into Australia for 30 days as a visitor. That was just before COVID. So I only arrived on 27th of February, and the first lockdown was March 19th.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the time when I actually first visited Mukka,
Okay.
and I only had one visit
Okay.
as a customer.
Okay.
I met a random lady here. She was like, okay, well, I never used to crave Indian much, even back home. Never used to enjoy curries because I've been into health and, you know, just like my clean, simple diet. But when I got here, I was like, okay, this is a vibe. Brunswick itself, you know, Fitzroy, and, you know, your new set of eyes, and you see something. That wasn't the plan even to buy Mukka or anything, you know, that point in time. It was just as a customer. But then COVID hit. Everything changed. So got business back home. So I manufacture bicycles. So yeah, that's my background. So from engineering to hospitality.
Wow.
Now this has always been a passion though, for food and the industry. I gave it a go years back. It never worked. There's a history to it as well. So if you look up for the name, you know, you might actually find something on Google. So I studied in New Zealand back in the days. So
Whereabouts?
Auckland Uni. Yeah.
I'm from
Studied
Christchurch.
business. Yeah. Oh yeah. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Never been there, you know. It's the earthquake that scares me. No, never been
It's
to.
amazing now. I reckon it's the best.
It's beautiful,
ever
isn't
been.
it? Dunedin, Christchurch, South Island.
Yeah.
No. It's always been work. I'm a workaholic, sorry. So I don't really get to travel much, apart from what I do. But then, so yeah, I started Hell Pizza franchise there. If you know, yes, there you go. There you go. Now you're from New Zealand, you can connect.
I had friends who made one of the ads for it.
Oh yeah.
The zombie apocalypse
Yeah,
ad.
yeah. You know the story, right? So they were pretty edgy
hilarious.
when it comes to marketing and stuff. So yeah, I ran a Hell Pizza franchise, and I was running a Paper Plus franchise too in Browns Bay. Yeah.
Okay.
So soon they realized that, you know, I could be an asset to the company, and I got master rights for India. I took Hell Pizza to India.
Oh.
I opened up a store there, a flagship store, which never worked because it was too soon for that kind of gourmet industry. You know, back then pizza was only Domino's or Pizza Hut. It still is now in India. You'd see probably more Domino's than clinics or healthcares or whatever. You know, like they guarantee 30 minutes delivery, and an ambulance or paramedic won't reach in 30 minutes for sure, but the pizza will. So you know, that's how it is. That's my country, but I love my country. So yeah, it never worked, and I gave up.
Yeah.
I started on manufacturing bicycles, which apparently went well. Been running for about 12, 13 years now. And before I left home, I got my mum involved, so she's taking care of my unit now. It's a big unit, manufacturing unit, so I've got about 300 people working there. COVID hit, and I was like, okay, you know, God has given me another chance. Maybe, you know, just reevaluate what I want to do now that I've lived best of both the worlds. You know, you've lived in New Zealand, you've lived in India, it did not work. Where would you want to stay? So I started all over again. I did a bit of research. I came across a bar that I was keen on because it's in there, hospitality, you know, serving guests, family coming over, dinner, conversations, talk. This is me. But apart from that, I do not really, you know, love to socialize or anything. This is me. That's it. I'm like, okay, might as well just give it a try. You know, what's there to lose? Especially, you know, as a migrant, when you come from home, and I'd say I'm blessed, you know, come from a family of means that I could even afford to, you know, get into business. I've got no loans, no mortgages, no nothing, you know. Like, okay, let's just start. So there was this bar in Richmond that I really liked, and I still like that bar. It's this cozy wine bar. Not a wine drinker, but then it's just the vibe of it, you know. You connect to, okay, this is what I want to own, you know, if I want to do something. Sometimes you go to a place, you feel that, you know, this place can be so much more. It's just the energy, the positivity. I think the owners would have lost the enthusiasm over a period of time, but then if you do that much to it, it can still revive and, you know, could do wonders. That's what happened with Mukka. I felt the potential that there could be so much more. But then, even before I bought that, I bought Mukka 2.0 in St. Kilda, which was a cafe, couldn't sustain during COVID times, and got shut. I loved the location because if you know St Kildaville, it happens to be on Fitzroy Street.
Which is quite hilarious, seeing as the first one was in Fitzroy. I was like, oh, there's
coincidence.
Very...
Yes. What could be the odds? Yeah. So that happens to be on Fitzroy Street, a corner of Fitzroy and Park Street. And you've got 2 tram stations, so you can't actually miss it if you happen to be in Fitzroy.
I actually walked past it on New Year's Day. We live in Port Melbourne, and we went on a big walk.
Yeah.
He ended up in St Kilda.
Yeah.
And I walked past, I did a double take. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So I bought that location first, and I knew for a fact that cafe wouldn't work. You know, when you buy things, you know. But then okay, it needs a change. What do I do? And that's when I thought, Mukka is going to be the one, and that can be an extension, because I could always see the queue here. People are waiting. So, maybe it's time to extend arms a little bit, stretch yourself and see how it goes. But that was the plan. So that's when I got into Mukka. Initially it was very tough, I'd say. Even when I bought the restaurant, the chef left because he was sponsored and he had to go because he was attached to the company and he was illegal to work for me, which I wasn't aware of, but that's okay.
Could you keep the recipes, or...?
Coming on to that again, it's like I said, it's a story. If so the restaurant was shut for 15 days. And I said to myself, now, well, what to do, because you've got the money, you've invested in it, not that you owe anything to anyone, nobody knows you. Either you could just let it be, just go away, go back home, or just take up the challenge. I got myself into the kitchen, and that's where my engineering background came into picture. I wrote each and everything. I made up the recipes. I did the spices. I taught myself everything for the next 15 days.
How did you do that?
Google.
Yeah.
YouTube. Mom. Everything. I extended. Like I said, so back home, I've got, over the phone, I have about 20 chefs guiding me.
Wow.
If I want to create a recipe, if I want to do anything, it's all authentic, apart from my butter chicken. It's all authentic, just the way it's done back home. And now I have a Bible here, which is my book, or SOPs, or what you may call it. Also, I started studying cookery here while I was doing that, so as to get myself involved and know exactly how it works. So everything just went great, I'd say. I was in the kitchen for 9 months before I got myself out, and someone else joined in. And now she's like a sister to me, and then, she's like my right hand. She started with nothing. She never stepped into the kitchen. So she wanted to be a part of Mukka. I needed someone like her. We taught each other. We were teaching, all along the way.
Wow.
And now she takes care of the kitchen. And then I'm doing what I'm doing in terms of expansion, menu creation, PR, marketing, rostering, staff hiring, everything. So that's the story for Mukka, and it's been 4 years. So we've come across the street here. We've opened 2.0. We're opening another one in Carnegie. So yeah,
amazing.
I have a great vision for Mukka, and I love what I do here.
Yeah.
I love what I do here. I love my menu. I love my food. Yeah, it's just the sincerity in the menu and the authenticity I'm proud of it. Really.
So we often talk about authenticity when it's cultural food, so food that's a different culture to here. And people do talk about the importance of authenticity. What does that mean for you?
Great. So I come from New Delhi, which is capital of India, right? Now, I think I'm fortunate again that I live in that part of India, or I was born in that part of India, because you get the world cuisine there. It's all at your service. Even the suburb where I live. So the hospitality has been very close to me, or the restaurants, or the vicinity, or everything. It depends, how exposed you are to it. So when I say authentic, because I've tried each and every dish, several places, several times, and I realize what's the difference? What is he doing right? What is he doing wrong? So I'm exposed, or my palate is exposed to the cuisines well enough to understand the literal meaning of it. Making everything from scratch, grinding your own spices. We import our spices in bulk. I can show you packets. I've got a spice room at the back where I grind my spices, where I do my spice mixes in proportion, like I said, engineering. So I've got my SOPs in place. Nobody knows how I do it, what I do, what proportions that they are in. My own chef only knows, okay, you've got a butter chicken spice mix. All you got to do is take a teaspoonful of it and add to the curry. Now they don't know that I've got 9 spices mixed already in a certain proportion.
Yeah.
So as to maintain that consistency every time at every stove.
And how fresh do those spices have to be? Do you have to have the...
Absolutely, yeah. So we when you grind them, see the aroma. If I start, say, if I was to grind the coriander seed now, you could even smell it till here, which I'm going to do this evening. Like the customers can even tell, oh, it smells spices in here, you know. So it's there's something about it which you'd never find in packaged or the pre-packed spice mix that you get. You can only use them, say, for 10 days, I'd say at the most, and we only create batches that we need for, say, over the next fortnight or a month at the most. But then that's that. So every time you have to get a lot in, every time you have to be consistent, and the proportions have to be right.
Yeah, wow. And in terms of, so you're importing the spices, but then in terms of produce and other ingredients, is it easy to get similar things to home, or does that
Even
affect
better,
the flavour? Oh.
even better. Your produce is fantastic. Look at the tomatoes here. We don't use canned or purees or tomato paste or anything.
It was interesting because I'd spoken to an Italian chef who thought that the produce wasn't so good in Australia compared to Italy, but you're saying what we have here works really well in the Indian dishes.
Absolutely, it does. The freshness, the consistency, the quality. All we need. Well, the Indian cooking, we're restricted to our staple vegetables. You talk about ginger, garlic, onion, tomatoes, spinach. It's all beautiful here. You talk about the eggplant. It's just fantastic here. So those are the veggies that you need. Cauli, again, great. We've got no complaints whatsoever. I think we only get the best here, to be honest. Yeah, so that only adds up to our flavors. Yeah.
And coming from New Delhi and your dad from Calcutta and your mum from Rajasthan, there's some different flavours going on there. And I know that butter chicken comes from New Delhi,
yeah.
and that's the one thing you said perhaps was a bit different on your menu, because that's the butter chicken from Mukka.
Correct. So, as I mentioned, I happen to know the family or the forefathers. Well, not really I know them, but I know for a fact that their forefathers, they invented butter chicken because they are all restaurateurs back home and big time, originating in Old Delhi. The taste there, if you were to talk, it is actually incepted from Delhi, and it's very authentic there. It's all about the tanginess, fresh tomatoes, creaminess, the richness of the curry. Not spicy at all. It's just about the tanginess of the dish. However, here when I reached Australia and I tried butter chicken at several places, but then I think Mukka struck gold in terms of balance of that tanginess and then the sweetness that the local consumers or the community demands here, or they expect how the butter chicken should be. So I think we have a perfect balance of both the worlds here in terms of butter chicken.
Yeah, and we were talking about how over your lifetime you've probably eaten a lot of butter chicken because it's a family favourite.
Butter chicken, yes. I'd say every single day, every week, 365 days a year. So butter chicken it's how do I say? Even if you go to Indian weddings as kids, the only idea or the only a lollipop, not a lollipop, but then, how would you excite a kid who doesn't want to go to or attend an Indian wedding? So your mum would say, oh, you'll get butter chicken and dal makhani there. So that was the only excitement. So butter chicken has been so close to us, and we grew up eating butter chicken, pretty much every day of my life.
And it's very popular in Australia as well. Australians love butter chicken as well.
Yeah, God himself made butter chicken 7th day for Australia, just for Australia, I would say. So, the amount of butter chicken we sell is unreal, especially on a Sunday. It's, I believe, just like the UK, where they say chicken tikka masala is their staple, I would say butter chicken is staple for Australians. Butter chicken, coconut rice, garlic naan, done deal.
I wonder why a Sunday.
I don't know. I don't know why on a Sunday. Yeah. I think I'm gonna open up pop-up windows here and there. Just selling butter chicken and rice. God made cow, man made butter. God made chicken. Mukka made the butter chicken. So that's my saying. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Godsend meal on a Sunday for Australians is butter chicken and rice.
Wow. And you've got big plans for Mukka. So you opened Mukka 2.0.
Yes.
And that has a bit of a different personality as well in St Kilda to here. But your dream or your vision is to take over Melbourne.
Oh, absolutely it is.
We'll
absolutely
replace Melbourne, or we used to be called Mukka.
No, we're going to take over Australia. Melbourne is,
wow.
It has all started here. We're going just fine. Customers have been great. Feedback's been awesome. It only gives us the strength to even dream that big. We are, we are definitely bringing forward our cuisine. It is much more accepted in terms of, it's going to be a go-to cuisine soon, I would say. We have people coming in for dates here. We've given them that vibe, everything is smart, casual. Apart from our curries, nothing looks to be Indian around. It's very chic. Coming up with Mukka Express, taking over those shady joints where they just sell Indian for the name of it, unnecessary cream, spices, whatnot. Quality of food is everything. We are coming up with good old Mukka as well in Carnegie soon, which I just mentioned. So that's going to be a house of staples, or I would call it the Indian staple eatery. It's just going to be about staples.
Okay.
Hence it's going to be good old Mukka. Yeah, that's the plan.
Amazing. So you've talked a lot about how much you love hospitality. What is it about hospitality that you love?
It's the customers, really. Just talking to them, I'm only new to the country, 4 years old, 5. They're all I have, to be honest. So they're my family. Treat them like family. I feel like family with them when they talk to me. Even though we talk about food, and that's all we have in common, really, when we talk. But then all of the regulars who know me, they call me Singh. I call them by their names. I know them. We talk over curries. We talk about things. They try and, sometimes, most of them actually, they try and take recipes off me. they give it a go back home. And how do I get to know? Because they would cook curries back home. They'll still come in for the naans and they'll say, oh, we are only here to buy the naans. We've made some curry back home. We're going to give it a go. I'm like, okay, let's see how it goes. But then they come back.
Yeah, they
come back, and it's just customers, really, honestly. I think it's just the love, warmth of the people here. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Hospitality, but could be a better way.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Kabir Singh at Mukka. If you liked what you heard, you can jump on Instagram at Mukka Restaurant. That's MUKKA Restaurant. There are glorious photos and videos of the dishes, as well as Singh's tangy talks, where he really gives you an in-depth look into some of the dishes. If you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat and become a subscriber, which is so good for me because I get to see there's actually people out there. Good for you because you get to know when a new story pops up. That's at www.conversationwithachef.com. And of course, you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Apparently I'm also on Amazon. It's fun. I would absolutely love it if you told a friend about my chats because that's still the best way to get the stories out there. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.